Today is Govardhan Puja, and hope you've been having a great Diwali. It has been a festive atmosphere here at Dallas and sweetened by the presence of our dearest and beloved Swamiji, of course. So we've been having great time and hope you've been enjoying Diwali as well. So let's get started. Because it is a Diwali time, we will focus our session on Ram Avatar and Krishna Avatar. We'll try to tackle some of the misconceptions around avatars at large, and more specifically, if there is any difference between these two avatars. And like we always do, we are going to take reference from Bhagavad Gita to understand this principle, and then we'll go really deep into this discussion. So welcome everybody, a very warm welcome. I'm excited to be back every Monday and hope the feeling is mutual with you as well. So let me get started. I'll share the screen and we will get underway. Let me share the sound as well. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes. Perfect.
Great. Okay, like always, we'll get started with our opening prayers. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. All right, Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome to today's edition of Daily Wisdom. Happy Govardhan Puja to all of you. A quick trivia on Govardhan Puja. We know why this happened, right? On this day, Lord Krishna had lifted Govardhan. Couple of learnings from them. We know that he lifted it with his little finger, and interestingly, his friends were thinking they were the ones who were pulling the weight, right? And he did it for 7 days at a stretch, and he used to have Ashtayami meal every 3 hours. Yashoda Maiya would feed him something. So when he came back, it is called that he skipped how many 56 meals. So that is why the concept or the tradition of Chappan Bhog came from there on. But the key thing that he told was that you don't have to worship the devatas. If you worship God, it is like watering the root. When you water the root, the leaves, fruit, twigs, branches automatically get it. So he said, instead of worshipping Indra, you do Govardhan. Okay, and Govardhan is no one but Vishnu Avatar himself. Anyway, we'll talk more about avatars today, but I thought we'll get started quickly with that. So today, this topic is, we are going to talk about the difference between Krishna and Ram avatars, if there's any, and at the more generic level, what are the different avatars. So I picked up a couple of shlokas here. These are very important shlokas, and it helps us see it in perspective when we look at God as somebody who's taken ordinary birth. Or we think when God descends, he becomes like one of us, like humans. So I picked up 4.9. So for the benefit of the new folks who might be joining for the first time, in sequence, we are in 4th chapter. However, we go back and forth just to make sure that the key concepts, everybody have a common understanding around it. Right now, we are doing a recap of chapter 2. This is a Diwali special session. And as we usually do, we pick up cross references based on what is required. Like we have a Diwali occasion. So I thought this shloka, couple of shlokas that I picked up would help us drive forward the conversation that we are going to have. So let me recite this shloka. Like always, you're welcome to follow along, the volunteers who want to recite as well. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sarjana. Okay, do we have any volunteers?
Yeah, we have some. Radhe Radhe, Samji.
Radhe Radhe.
Samji, please go ahead.
Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sojuna.
Very nice.
Radhe
Thank you. Radhe.
Sandhya ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Sandhya.
राधे राधे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन.
Very nice. Thank you. We'll pick one more hand and then we move to the next so that we can balance it out.
Sam ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Ram ji.
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् मेवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति स्वजन. राधे राधे.
Very nice. Thank you, Ramji. Radhe Radhe. Okay, maybe we'll pick up one more hand on this one.
Okay. Riya ji, Radhe Radhe.
राधे राधे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति माम् एति सोऽर्जुन.
Thank you, Priyaji. So the remaining hands we'll pick up on the next shloka. So let me read a quick translation of this. This says that Lord Krishna is telling Arjun that those who understand the divine nature of my birth and activities, O Arjun, upon leaving the body, do not have to take birth again, but come to my eternal abode. Now what he's saying here is those who understand the divine nature of his birth and activities, Jan and Karma. They are divine, they are not material. That is essentially what he's saying. We'll get deeper into this as well. Let's move on to the next shloka. I picked up two shlokas today. This is 9:11. This one I'm going to recite and then you're welcome to follow along as well. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam parabhavam jananto Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. Okay, we can take the remaining hands.
Akshita ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Akshita ji.
राधे राधे अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रतां परभव मा जानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम्.
Yeah, Parabhavam Jananto Mam Bhuta Maheshwaram. Thank you, Akshita ji. Okay, we can pick up the remaining two hands.
Uday Kumar ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Uday ji.
Yeah, Avajananti Mamuda Manushim Tanumashritam Param Bhavam Ajananto Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram.
Very nice, thank you, Radhe Radhe. Okay, last but not the least, Lakshmi ji.
Radhe Radhe everyone.
Radhe.
Ananti Mamudha Manusim Tanumashritam Param Bhavam Ajananto Mama Bhutam Maheshwaram.
Very nice, thank you, Lakshmi ji. So the short translation for this shloka goes like, when I descend in my personal form, deluded persons are unable to recognize me. They do not know the divinity of my personality as the supreme Lord of all beings. So you can remember this shloka whenever this question comes up. There are a lot of philosophies, even in Sanatan Dharam, they say that, Yogeshwar, Krishna is Yogeshwar when he takes, or Ram is a Nar avatar, when they come, they become like us. Okay, so in this one, Lord Krishna is very clearly saying that when I descend in my personal form, deluded people, they think they are not able to recognize me. Jaku rahi bhavana jaisi, Prabhu murut tin dekhi taisi. Even when Lord Ram, during the time of his swamvar, different people were perceiving him differently based on how much purity they had in their heart. Somebody was looking at him like a tender kid. How is he going to lift such a massive bow? Somebody was getting a perception that, he's just a plain handsome boy. Somebody was getting a perception he's death personified. Based on the kind of perception you had, that is how the Prabhu Murat was seeming to you. So that is what Lord is saying. So let's get into this topic now. It's a very interesting topic. Hopefully, it's going to shed a lot of light on some of the less known fact and often confused facts about God, his avatars, and some of those stereotypes that we have in our head. So let's get started. Now, what do you see on your screen here? Okay. Of course, as best as I could get, these are some of the reflections of the moon. Now, my question here is, we see moons. I've answered the question. How many moons do you see here? You think here there are? Anybody who wants to take a shot at it? Oops. I don't know why this happens always. Anybody who wants to take a shot at it? How many moons do we think there are?
Sandhya
Yes,
ji,
sir.
please go ahead.
100.
Yeah, this one, I think, doesn't take too much of mental exertion to know that. Yes, there is one moon here, and it is just the multiple reflections of the same moon, essentially, right? So this concept is very important one to understand, because one of the things or connotations related to Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism is polytheism. That in Hinduism or in Sanatan Dharma, there are multiple gods, multiple god theory. They worship monkey god, they worship snake god, and then this god and that god. One god for visa, one for this, one for that, right? This polytheism, actually, our scriptures tell us that, we have heard about this concept of unity in diversity. So polytheism is actually diversity in unity. It's just one moon in different reflections, different forms, different moods. That is essentially what it is. It's just like our father, when he goes to office, he's in an office attire. When he comes back home, he can become a horse with his kid as well, and he's wearing his comfortable clothes. When he goes out to gym, then he's wearing some other clothes. When he's going out for Diwali function or playing to Holi, he's wearing different clothes. So the wife or the kid, they do not get confused. You know what? My papa has changed or my husband has changed. Right? It's like Amitabh Bachchan playing a coolie or a don or a smuggler in a movie, and Jaya Bachchan getting confused. I married one guy and here are three different people. They don't get confused because they understand it is the same person. Similarly, the diversity we see, they are different forms of the same God. So basically, you have a freedom based on your sanskars, the propensities, whichever form you get attracted towards, go for it. We are all different. We all have different tendencies. We do all have different likings, different affinities. And based on that, you pick up your Ishtadev and go with that. But don't get confused. If I'm going to do this Ishtadev, the other one will get upset, or it is a different one. People get confused. They have in their altar 10 different gods and goddesses, right? And thinking if I do one, the other one equally, I should give the food to them. Otherwise, one may get upset. Or the other aspect of it is fear-driven devotion, where they think if I do it for one and the other will get upset, something bad will happen. Or risk hedging, risk mitigation. If one god doesn't listen, other one might, because I have some secret wish list that I'm going to God for. So this is all born out of ignorance. Ignorance is the biggest problem as per our scriptures afflicting humanity. Other problems, they stem from ignorance only. In Brahma Sutra, Vedavyas says that Ajnanam evasya hi moola karanam. That means the root cause of every problem afflicting humanity is Ajnan, ignorance. It all starts with the basic ignorance that we are a body. And other things start unfolding. Then bodily associates, bodily, worldly comforts, worldly aspirations, the template life. Now I should get married. Now I should have a kid. And what will people say? All these are related to body. Nothing to do with the soul, right? It all starts with the ignorance that I am this body. Now, this body made up of mud is who my real identity is, and scriptures tell us to correct that. And today we are going to correct our ignorance around some of the avatars related to God as well. So let's move on. Now, Hari Katha Anant, Hari Anant, Hari Katha Anant. You see so many avatars of God. Ram avatar is there, Kurma avatar is there, Hiranyakashyap avatar is, Krishna avatar is there. Now, let's first understand this concept that no one avatar is bigger than the other avatar. Okay? All are equal. In fact, if you do discrimination in your mind, it is not advisable. All avatars are the same. Okay? They come for a specific purpose during the time that they come, and some come with an express purpose as well. Some may not have, a long time duration avatars, like in case of Ram avatar, he descended here for 11,000 years. And on the other hand, the Hiranyakashyap avatar came and went. Similarly, Ambar avatar, when Draupadi was being disrobed, it came and went. So some avatars may come for an express purpose, some may stay for a while. They come with a reason. Okay. Now, Vedvyas, he says that in Padma Puran, all dissensions of God are replete with all the divine powers. Now, they have all the divine powers, but they may choose to manifest only a few in a particular avatar time. That does not mean that they have become less or more than the other avatars. So, first of all, that differentiation is not required. With knowledge, we need to understand that. And then, based on the objective he wishes to accomplish, he will manifest that power. And the remaining powers, they remain latent, hidden. Right? Like, for example, we have our powers hidden. We have anger within us. We have greed within us. All powers are hidden. When the situation will come, they will manifest. Similarly, God has all the powers, virtues within him, and he manifests only the ones which are required. He's very optimized in that sense. Okay, let's move on. Feel free to ask a question if you get stuck somewhere, because I'm trying to make it as simple as possible and as rational as possible. Now, let's understand. One of the questions that is often asked and can confuse people is the fact, who is Krishna and who is Vishnu? Now, Krishna is Vishnu's avatar, Ram is Vishnu's avatar. Vishnu is different than Krishna. Both are same, both are equal. One is more higher, one is lower. Let's understand it from Bhagavatam. Okay, how it has been explained. Bhagavatam says Krishna is called Param Purush. He is the boss of all bosses. Boss, I shouldn't call that, cause of all causes. Okay, God cannot be a superlative term where we say one is God, one is Godder, one is Goddess, or one is 60% God, one is 80% God, one is 90%, nothing of that sort. Krishna is Pratham Purush. Let's understand that part. Okay, very clearly our scriptures say that. Then what happens? Then he has a planetary expansion which is called Karno Dakshai Vishnu. He is the president of the material universe. He is also called Pratham Purush. Krishna is called Param Purush. He is called Pratham Purush. Through Karno Dakshai Vishnu comes Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. He is called Dvitiya Purush. He is the creator. Through his navel comes Brahma. He is called secondary creator. And through Garbho Dakshai Vishnu comes Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu, which is the maintainer, which is the Tritiya Purush. Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu is also called Paramatma, who is energizing our soul. So big yogis who meditate, they strive to meet that union of Atma with Paramatma. This is the Paramatma aspect, which basically the job of Paramatma is, one is to energize you, being your witness. First, he's energizing you. Our soul has life, super soul, because super soul or Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu is residing within it. It's smaller than the smallest. The second job function of Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu is to be our witness and log our karmas. Quietly, he'll keep on logging. Every thought that you have becomes a karma. Okay, not just the action, every thought, every sankalp that you make, he notes it down, and he maintains that register like a big data. Okay, it's like your ledger accounting balance is created. Positive karmas, credits, negative karmas, debits, that running list is maintained. So you cannot cancel positive with negative, that okay, one positive, one negative, done. No. Positive will have its own impact, negative will have its own impact. That becomes the storehouse of our chitta or sanskar across lifetimes. Yeah, somebody had a question? Probably not. Okay, so let's move on. Yes, Sandhya, you had a question?
Yes. So Kshirodakshayi Vishnu only provides us results as well of our actions.
So the result dispenser, I believe, which Vishnu is actually the result dispenser? That's a good question. I don't know which one does that. Probably the president of the material universe, but regardless, they are all the same God only. Now, which one actually is dispensing? Krishna doesn't do that. Okay, he remains in Vrindavan only and does Premdan. Probably the Mahavishnu or the Karnodakshayi Vishnu is probably the one, but it's a good question. Who actually dispenses the justice? Is it the same one who's logging it, or is there a separation of duty there as well? I think that's a good question. We can check it out. Okay, by the way, one of the questions, Samji, you had asked Brahmalok. Which one is Brahmalok? Satyalok is Brahmalok. Okay, I finally got the answer for you. So we saw all those lokas, Satyalok and Bhuvar Loka and all the Tal, Vital, Sutal, Patal, Narak Loks, all that stuff. Satyalok is the Brahmalok in the material creation. All right, so let's move on. Now these avatars, they are classified. There is a classification provided for these avatars in our scriptures. Let's look at that. First one is Avesha avatar. Avesha avatar is like when God, he manifests some special powers in an individual soul, such as Narad, Buddha. They are called Avesha avatar of God. Second is Vaibhav avatar. In this one, like Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, it happens, he manifests more of his divine powers. Okay, so they've just been classified. We're not going to do research on these avatars. Let's just understand it broadly. Okay. The third one is Prabha avatar. Now he displays some more of his divine powers. These are of two kinds. What are those? Let's look at it. Now, in one, the God reveals himself only for a few moments. He completes his works and goes. And Hans avatar is one. And then Ambar avatar is another one. Ambar avatar happened when he came in as a cloth to save the modesty of Draupadi. Right? It came and that avatar went. It came only for a particular purpose and then it went. And then the other avatar is where, like Vedvyas, he was there for a long, long time. Vedvyas, he wrote 18 Puranas, Mahabharata, and so he was also an avatar of God. And last avatar is called Pravashtha avatar, where God manifests all of his divine powers in the personal form. These are the ones like Lord Krishna, Sri Ram, Narsingh avatar. They are called Pravashtha avatar. So these are the avatars is going to be subject of our discussion today. These are the four categories of God's avatars. Yes, Sai Ramji.
Radhe Radhe. Nitinji, I had a quick question. Do you happen to know which avatar would be Parashuram avatar? Like which one?
I can check it out. Which category would it fall into? I don't know that specifically. But yeah, he was Bhagwan Parashuram. He was also an avatar.
Okay, thank you, Radhe Radhe. I was just curious. That's all. No, it doesn't really matter in the big picture.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, he was also an avatar. Which category would he fall into? Or for that matter, there are a lot of avatars, right? So I don't have that mapping as such, if you ask me, but it would be probably one of these. If I were to guess it, I think it would probably fall into, the like Prabhavatar kind of a thing, because like Vedavyas, possibly around that category, but again, I'm not sure around it. All right, so let's move on. Now, Krishna, as we said, Param Purush, right? Then you have Brahma. Even in Gunas aspect, this is how it is born out of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, the three gunas that we talk about. But these are divine gunas. Okay, don't consider it as the gunas as we look at it from a material standpoint. And the reason it is identified as Sattva basically is knowledge, because Brahmaji is imparted knowledge and he does the creation. Rajas is maintenance aspect of Vishnu, and Tamas is the destruction which Lord Shiva does. Okay, it's not like one is better or other. All are equal avatars here. The key thing here to understand here is the Krishna avatar or Ram avatar. Sometimes it happens through Vishnu avatar, right? They come through the Vishnu Mahavishnu avatar that we have, and sometimes the Purna avatar happens where the Golok Vihari Krishna, he descends from his Vrindavan and takes a Purna avatar, and the one that took place 5,000 years ago is known as a Purna avatar. When it was the Krishna, he came as, not through his planetary expansion, but a direct avatar. Anyways, so hopefully it puts things into perspective. Now let's move on. Saint Tulsidas. Now let's understand it from a devotee standpoint. What does it mean? Now Saint Tulsidas, in one of his, in mine, he says, it's an interesting one. Now you pick up any Ishtadev based on what appeals your mind. Some people are Ram Bhakt, some are Shiv Bhakt, some are Devi Bhakt. People have different propensities. But as long as you're not discriminating, you're fine. But when you start discriminating, right, we spoke about this concept of Shakti and Shaktiman also, right? Krishna Radha, Lakshmi Narayan, Shiv Parvati. One is Shakti, other is Shaktiman. There is no difference between those two as well. It's like milk and whiteness. We cannot separate milk and whiteness. They are both same. However, in the spiritual realm, in divine leelas, they take on two forms. It's still the same thing. So we don't differentiate. Some people get attracted towards the feminine aspect of it. They are Mata's Bhakt, right? And that to Durga Mata's Bhakt. Some are saying, okay, we are Bhakt of Shiva or Rama and all. So all are same. We have to understand that. They are same, and yet there is a bit of a difference with regards to the rasa or the mellow you can expect from each one of these forms, is what I'm going to briefly touch upon today. Okay. Now, Saint Tulsidas, we all know he was a big devotee of Lord Ram. Now, let's look at it from a saint's perspective, how he looks at his devotion. Okay. Now, the ordinary commentators would say that, Ram was different and Krishna was different, but let's see what Tulsidas is saying here. He's saying, "Kaho chhabi aaj ki bhale bane ho nath, tulsi mastak tab nave, dhanush baan lo hath." Okay, he's written that. So Lord Krishna actually, he came in front of him as Radha Krishna. He gave him the divine darshan, and Tulsidas ji said, "No, this is cheating." He said, "I will only." He says that, "Tulsi mastak tab nave." I am going to bow down in front of you only when you take Dhanushban in your hand. Okay, so he also understands he is the same Lord. Okay, and the reason he's saying that is because he's always worshipped him as a Lord Ram. And when he worshipped him as a Lord Ram, it was more of a dasya bhav. We have spoken about the bhavs. Dasya bhav means you are my master, I am your servant. And all of a sudden, you don't walk into your master's room and see them with his spouse, right? It is like decorum is, that decorum between servant and master is getting a little disrupted, protocol. So he's saying you get into your official mode. Okay, not like this. That is why he was saying that. Maharaj has given a beautiful commentary on that. And if you look at Lord, and then again he says, "Ab main tohi janyo sansar." And in this, Tulsidas himself is saying, now you may say that he's calling Lord Ram that I don't accept Lord Krishna as my Ishtadev. No, he's not saying that. Let's understand this. He's the same Tulsidas ji who's asking him to first take Dhanushban in his hand because he's his master and he wants to see him in his master's form. Okay. Furthermore, he goes on to say, let's see what Tulsidas say. He say, "Ab main tohi janyo sansar, bandhi na saki mohi, hari ke bal, prakat kapat akar." Now, Hari is not Ram. Why is he saying Hari? Because Tulsidas also knows Ram and Krishna are not different. They are the same. It's his same Lord. Right? And he's calling him Nath first. And then he's calling him Hari as well. Okay. So, saints, they understand this secret. It's not a secret. And then he says, "Sahat sahay taha basu, jehi hridayana Nand Kumar. Ab main tohi janyo sansar." So somebody may say, no, he was referring to Lord Ram. But to put that argument to rest, he's saying Nand Kumar. Now, Nand Kumar is, we know who's Nand Kumar, right? He did not say Kaushalya Kumar. He's very clearly referring to, he's challenging Maya that with me now I have Hari's support. And now you cannot do anything to me. He's challenging Maya actually. So this is how saints understand it, and we have to look at it in the same perspective. We don't differentiate. Right? In Indian tradition, Sanatan Dharam, there have been, the Vaishnavites and Shivites, they've been at loggerheads. Shiva is superior, no, the other says, no, Vishnu is superior. That is born out of ignorance. Right? That is why Vedavas had said that ignorance is the biggest problem humans have. When we keep on dispelling knowledge, we'll have more clarity. Then we can proceed with confidence and continue with the devotion that is needed, as opposed to getting stuck in things because of our ignorance. My God is superior, your God is superior, this is that, this doesn't take us much. I've picked up this example from Swami Maharajji's commentary, because he's saying Tulsidas, he's telling that. And in fact, in Krishna Leela, in one of his Krishna Leelas, Yashoda Maiya is telling story, like we tell stories to our kids to put them to sleep. Krishna was also very fond of stories. So he said, Yashoda Maiya, tell me a story. So she said, okay, I'll tell you Ram stories. But you keep giving me feedback, so that I know you are still awake. So Krishna was saying, okay, I will keep on doing that. So she was telling, and then Lord Ram, he was sent to exile. He was said, and then Bharat came to get him back. He said, and then they went to Panchakuti, and and then he said, and then the Ravan came, and he lifted Sita and took her away. The moment he heard that, he said, Lakshman, where is my Dhanushban? Yashoda Maiya freaked out. What happened to Krishna? And then he made with his Yog Maya, he pulled it down. So in Leelas, Krishna does all that stuff. So point being, he knew that it was the same, and he is actually referred to, Radha also, that you were the same Sita. And anyway, I'm not getting into those scriptural references here. Point is, it's the same thing. If you see, the only difference here is he has put a peacock feather. In that, he has a Dhanushban. And in that, basically, in Ram Avatar, he started killing demons and all after he became a youth. And Krishna Avatar, he was in full form. 6 days he killed Putra, 2-3 years old, Agasur, Bakasur, so many Surs, Maharaj say Kopdasur, whatever. He was in full form. No issues whatsoever. He showed his full extent of glories. In Ram Avatar, he was in a Maryada Purushottam Avatar. So he said, I have to maintain certain protocols. Right? I cannot be a Rasik Shiromani. Having 16,108 wives, right? I will just have one, but it was the same Ram there as well. So if you look at it, it's an interesting trivia. If you look at Ram, Janm happened on 9th, Navami, right? We celebrate. And Krishna Bhar, we do it on Ashtami. So if you see the table, I will probably pull it up. 9 never loses its Maryada. 9 into 1 is 9. 9 into 2, 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. Anything you multiply with 9, it will always add up to 9. And in 8 table, you see it goes all the way, like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the numbers are covered in that. So Krishna was a full form avatar, no stop. It's like I will display my true nature in every possible way. Which person would run away from a battlefield? Because he ran away from a battlefield, run chhod became a big word, right? Even that became such a big thing. Which brother will tell his sister to run away with another guy? Krishna did that. He said, Arjun, if you do that, my brother will come after you. But Subhadra, if you run away with Arjun, then he cannot, right? So Krishna was, and then he did all the stuff, how he did in Leela, right? So there is a difference between the avatars too. The rasas vary, although it is the same God. And if you are a worshipper of Shiv, yes, it invokes respect. It invokes respect, and people get attracted to that aspect as well. But it is a matter of personal choice based on our past sanskars. However, the rasas vary. For example, I'll talk about the speciality of Krishna avatar, why it's easier for devotees as opposed to some of the other avatars. So we'll talk about that concept as well. The rasas, they vary. Right? For example, putting your arm around Ram, will you feel like? You will say no, Maryada Purushottam avatar. So you will have to follow certain protocols around that. You can't do that. And for that matter, if you feel like jumping into the lap of Lord Shiva, you say, oh, of course not, right? You will feel. And if you actually see the Bharatgan, Rudragan of Shiv, you will collapse, you will faint. Okay. So the rasas, they vary, although it is the same form that we are talking about, right? Starting with, so just a quick recap, just so that we are on the same page. The Pratham Purush, the Dvitiya Purush, the Tritiya Purush, the different kind of avatars we spoke about. It all starts with Lord Krishna. Then Kshirodakshai, Karnodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai, Kshirodakshai Brahma. And then the different categories of avatar we spoke about. And then the fact that Ram and Krishna are both same. Tulsidas is vetting that very clearly in his composition. He's calling Hari. Whom is calling Hari? His own Nath. Who's his Nath? Lord Ram. Okay. He's calling him Hari here. So now let's look at here.
Hey, we
from a
have few
lecture
doubts. Can I please? Can you hear
Sorry?
me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We have do charts in the chat box. Can you please read them
Sure.
first or not?
Yeah, surely we'll get into the questions as well. Let's quickly hear the quick lecture from Swamiji on this topic, and then we'll get to the questions on the chat
Thank
questions.
you.
Okay.
Radhe, Radhe.
Are you able to hear the audio?
I understand from your
Yes.
Are you able to hear? Okay, great.
discourses that God is the same, it's multiple manifestations. So for those of us who grew up anchored to another form of the God and Guru, does it suffice for us to continue to meditate on those forms even when we're singing bhajans about Radha Krishna?
I think this question would be in the minds of many people, right? Because in our Indian culture, we've all grown up worshipping different forms of God. And we've all had so many gurus along the way. There is one God, and that is why if you worship him as Ram, as Krishna, as Shiva, as Narayan, it really is no different. If Amitabh Bachchan, he becomes a policeman in one movie and he becomes a taxi driver in the other and something else in the third, does Jaya Bachchan think, I married one guy, how come I've got 3 husbands here now? Right? So it's the same personality. That's why from the side of God, there is no problem. It's our own mind, our own conditioning that is creating these doubts and these hesitations. Similarly, with the case of the Guru, we received knowledge, we received inspiration, but now if we have come to some place where we are getting even superior knowledge, superior inspiration, why not take it? Because that's the goal. Right? Now you go to one doctor and you were not fully cured. So you say, I can only make a doctor once in my life. So I'm stuck now whether I live or I die. You won't say that because you are concerned about your health. So similarly, then don't say this, that a guru is made once, I made it, now whether he takes me to heaven or hell, I don't know. Until you perfect your knowledge, you have the right to keep on striving. Okay? The other point, as regards choosing your Ishtdev. Although they are all one, from the point of view of bhakti, there are certain advantages of choosing Sri Krishna as your Ishtdev. Because you get that Braj Ras where he is no longer God, he is just your soul beloved. That sweetness of bhakti and devotion, you get it in devotion to Sri Krishna. Also, his form is so enchanting. It's easy to absorb the mind in him. Now instead, if you keep Ganesh ji as your Ishdev, you keep Nrisingh Bhagwan as your Ishdev, now how will you meditate on the lion form of God? The mind will not get attracted. So if your Ishdev has an enchanting form, it becomes easy. And if there are sweet pastimes as well, they also help you turn the mind. The pastimes of Lord Krishna are so sweet, they immediately pull the chit towards him. So these are the advantages. But if somebody says, no, I prefer to see God in his elephant form, go ahead. The sweets in Diwali, there's one man, one woman, one dog, one horse. The children start fighting. I want the dog, no, I want the horse. The shopkeeper smiles, they are all sweet. You take any of them, they are all the same. All right?
Okay, I hope that that reinforces the concept that we're talking about. Next time this multiple polytheism concept comes to you, just imagine those different sweets, right? When we were growing up, We used to have those sugar sweets, very nice khilaunas, although tasted the same, and Brahmaji creates, not Brahmaji, God's different forms are similar to that. All are sweet, cut from the same cloth, and all have or replete with the complete powers. Okay, that is the correct understanding. Now, I'll tell you another advantage of, see, these are all the avatars of God. Now, avatars of God are of the same God, right? Vaman avatar, Krishna avatar. Now, let's look at some of the advantages that briefly Swamiji touched upon. In Krishna avatar, you get to savor four madhuris. The first is Roop Madhuri. Like he said, it's an enchanting form. People, I mean, it's said that if we see Cupid, forget about Cupid. If we see somebody, a celestial god, Manav, Gandharva, anybody, we will faint looking at their beauty. That is how attractive they are, right? We faint looking at an ordinary beauty in this world also, but if we truly see something, we'll faint with, that is how beautiful, attractive they are. And the topmost attractive person in material world is called Kamadev, Cupid. And Krishna's form is called 1,000 Cupids will seem insipid in front of him. That is how attractive he is. Okay, that is his Rupa Madhuri. Now we will get to savor that as we get cleansed, right? So that part, the second part is called his Bal Madhuri. So many beautiful pastimes that he has as a kid, he displayed. Still we savor that, right? So many presentations we do, his Damodar Leela and all that stuff. God has given us, these 6 things, Nam, Roop, Gun, Leela, Dham, and his saints to think about to purify our mind. We'll continue to discuss that topic in more detail. Why does it purify our mind when we listen to the Katha of God or meditate upon his Leelas and actually try to experience it, with faith? It is all cleansing. It actually results in cleansing and helps us, clear our mind, which is the whole agenda of spirituality. Then Murli Madhuri. His Murli Madhuri is so strong that it says that when he would fill with, when he would play his flute, you will feel tugged towards him. Nobody could resist. That much power he had in his Murli Madhuri. And his Prem Madhuri, anyways, right? The Ras aspect of it, which is pretty advanced concept. We'll keep talking about that as well. And his Roop Madhuri, in fact, gopis who used to look at him when he would come back after grazing the cows, they would complain to Brahmaji that first of all, you have given us just 2 eyes. They're not enough to savor the beauty of Krishna. And then you have given us 2 eyes. First of all, that is a limiting factor. Second is you have made us blink. We can't even, find that little bit of, how much Truti Kshan I'll get into the units of time. So the smallest one, I think it starts with Truti, and blink is probably somewhere around that mark. We don't even know we are blinking. They could not even separate that much of separation, savoring his beautiful form. So anyways, avatars are same. Now today's question that I have is, and then we will take some questions from the chat as well, Shamji. But let me open it up. You see this dark cave, how dark it is? It's very dark, okay? Ghostly dark. Now, welcome the light within. That is whole concept of Diwali. When we light a lamp, basically, the reason for that is we are trying to remove our ignorance. If our lamp is becoming bigger by the year, the purpose of Diwali is served. But if we are simply lighting a lamp on the outside without lighting a lamp inside and removing our ignorance, then the purpose is not served. And similar to how Ayodhya Vasis had exiled, not Ayodhya Vasis, Dashrath had to exile Ram for 14 years, we have also exiled God from our life. So it is an opportunity to welcome him back in our heart. He's there, he's residing there, but we have forgotten him, and we have forgotten how do we need to reignite that relationship which we eternally have with him. So, and this light that we talked about of darkness, it will be removed instantly the moment we are cleansed. Not even a fraction delay. Light travels at a speed of how much? 186,000 miles per hour or 3 lakh kilometers per second, not per hour, per second. But in God's grace, it intervenes as soon as your antakaran is cleansed. But we have to do it one step at a time. So I would put a question and then I'll take some. What is the Diwali resolution you would like to take? One thing you'll start working on to remove darkness residing within. And you could utilize our tracker, daily tracker that we have, where you can declare it to the world. This is one thing I'll work on. You can put it on chat, or you can speak about it, or you can start putting it in Tracker directly, which we'll share the link on shortly to get that going. So now let's take up some of the chat questions, Shyamji, that might be out there, or anybody has any questions.
Yes, Jimai. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
We
Radhe.
had some questions from Samji and Joanji.
Sure.
Samji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
No, that is not, yeah, that is the one that I sent is not question. Actually, Sandhya ji was asking, right? Is it Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, like, who dispenses the results? So in the commentary of Bhagavad Gita, Swamiji mentioned that it is Paramatma, who is also called Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, who notes our actions, keeps an account of our actions, and bestows results at the proper time.
Great. Thank you for clarifying. Shiro Rakshay Vishnu only. Okay, his job function, Samji, just increased to not only logging it, but also dispensing the justice also. So thank you for clarifying that. Very nice.
Yeah. Another one is, Nitinji, you were saying, and not you were saying, like, in Lord Ram, is it fixed, like, whoever devotees go to him, they can only be in Dasya Bhav, he can reciprocate only as a master?
No, if you want to fall in love with Lord Ram, I have at least, there was only one instance, the lady who tried to fall in love with Lord Ram, despite the fact that that was Shurpanakha. There is no other precedent of that, right? So what happened when he went through Ayodhya or even through the Chitrakoot forest, there were so many Rasik saints who would worship God in Madhurya Bhav. So he kept on saying, Tathastu, Tathastu, Tathastu. He said, all right, right now I'm in Maryada Purushottam Avatar. When I'll come as Krishna Avatar, Poona Avatar, then I will grant your wish. And at that, those were some of the saints who came as gopis in the next avatar. So, but in Ram Avatar, it's Maryada Purushottam Avatar. He did not display Madhurya Bhav. Right? He said, I'm a one wife guy in this avatar.
No, but he has wife, friends, brothers.
Yeah,
so we cannot be in any of those relations with him.
In fact, in Ram Avatar, only Dasya Bhav has been highlighted if you look at it. Right? Hanumanji, right from Hanumanji to Lakshman, Bharat, they all displayed, even though they were brothers, it was not even fraternal, right? They were all Das. They used to fight who is going to take Ram's feet. So the Dasya Bhav is predominant in Ram Avatar, is what at least I have seen. I have not seen Madhurya Bhav or any, and Vatsalya is there as well, right? Kaushalya Mata, Kekai, Vatsalya Bhav is there as well.
Okay. So Mother Sita is the only exception.
Mother Sita is the only exception.
Okay.
In fact, there's a beautiful story of Mother Sita. It's my, one of the trivias I love when in Ramayana, when he goes for the Swayamvar, he actually sees Mother Sita in the Vatika for the first time, and she also sees him. And he was plucking flowers, and she was with her sakhis, and Ram was sweating. She said, "This guy, while plucking flowers, he's sweating. You really think he can lift the bow tomorrow?" So that kind of a human side of Lord Ram, because he was literally sweating when he saw Mother Sita for the first time, and he was breaking petals and the flowers at that time. That's kind of an interesting thing. Yes, Ankuji had a question as well, and then we can move over to few announcements that you had. Yes, Ankuji.
Joanji has a doubt. Joanji is asking, Radhe Radhe, I'm a little confused. My understanding is that Krishna's avatar came after Lord Rama. Then how can Tulsi Das know that Lord Rama and Lord Krishna are same?
He's a saint. Okay, the time dimension is something that you and I know of. Valmiki, now you will say, how did Valmiki wrote Ramayana even before Ram came? He became Trikaldarshi by God's grace. He could write Ram Avatar even before it came. Okay, so Tulsi Das, they are not ordinary people. They are God-realized saints around that part. And then when the saints are there, they are replete with the complete knowledge. Saint means there is no difference between God and saint. All powers are given to the saints that God has, other than the job of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, which is logging karmas. Why would they do that bookkeeping dirty job of noting down what people are thinking anyway, right? We know what all we think. So that is the only thing that God does not give to the saints. Otherwise, all the powers are given and they become Trikaldarshi from that sense.
Thank you, Radhe Radhe. Ankur ji, yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Ankur ji.
Radhe Radhe. Nitin ji, my question was that in the slide, one of the slides you had shown Shiv, Vishnu, and Brahma. So as in
Trinity.
tamas activity.
Trinity.
Yeah.
This one.
So tamas activities are forbidden. I mean, and
so
then
this is, I clarified it. These tamas is not material tamas. Okay. This is the spiritual gunas we are talking about. These are not the material tamas that we spoke about, where those tamas are forbidden. This is from a spiritual standpoint, where he carries out the destruction aspect of it. And tamas, by the way, even the material side is needed. If you don't have tamas, you will not fall asleep. And if you don't fall asleep, you will be a walking zombie. And if you're a walking zombie, you know what can happen. So little bit of tamas is also required for our sustenance, but these gunas that I'm talking about are spiritual. They are not material gunas that we're talking about.
Oh, okay. So I mean, in continuation of it, I mean, I'm just for an understanding. So when people, I mean, why this thing came to my mind was, I mean, with Shiv, people would, I mean, with Shivji, what people do is they associate with him with certain bhang or certain things.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I mean.
I got your
was just-
question. I got your
Yeah.
question. But you can finish it off. I understood your question that Shivji used to do, so we'll do the same, right?
Right. I mean, and then depicting him as a lord of tamas, maybe. I mean, that's what my question was.
So that has to be understood. First of all three are same. It's just the different mode, right? Somebody has to carry out a job function. That is why it is in that mode at that point. Secondly, God Leelas are not to be imitated. They have to be learnt from. That is the second concept to be understood. Fine. You want to imitate Lord Shivji. Right? People say that. You want to have bhang and then first of all, have the ability to hold poison in your neck like Shiv did. Right? Same thing, talk about Krishna as well, right? Do you have an ability to lift Govardhan? Do you have an ability to recite Bhagavad Gita? So God's leelas are not to be imitated. Okay, they are leelas. When we become Lord Ram in Ram Leela, we don't become Lord Ram. We are still the humans. Similarly, when Lord descends, he does not become Nar. He's still God. So those leelas have to be understood in divine realm. Those people who do that, it's just an excuse for the things they want to do, and they take God's name, but those are not to be imitated. Lord Shiva, right? He held that poison in his neck. That is why he's called a Neelakant as well. Can we do that? If we do that, then go ahead and compete with Lord Shiva and what are the things he did. That's not the right way of looking at it.
Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Thank you so much for the Gyan, Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, if they do that, they will go to those 28 naraks. Okay, tell them next time. They'll go to one of those 28 naraks. Garud Puran says that don't do spiritual transgressions. Okay, taking God's name. So it's not a good thing to do.
And
Yes.
Joanji wants the link of today's video. If you can please share the link.
Sure, I'll try to share that with you.
And yes, Rahul ji also has hand raised. Rahul bhai.
Yes, Rahul.
Radhe Radhe. Ashutosh ji had a comment or a question in the chat, and he is asking, in another universe, Krishna avatar may already have happened.
Great question. Yes, so God is known as a frequent traveler. Okay, and he does not need a visa to travel anywhere. It's his creation. And Krishna and Ram avatars are the ones which take place, it is said, in all the Brahmans. We looked at the entire creation. Ours is a pretty small one, right? For it, Krishna, and as we speak, there is a possibility Ram or Krishna avatar is happening. There's a Bhagavad Gita going on somewhere, a good possibility. So God is like traveling throughout. So yes, it is very well possible. In fact, our Manvantar itself has 3 different stories of Ramayana. Jalandhar, in one of them, he married Jalandhar's wife, not Jalandhar, but the demon was Jalandhar rather, not Ravan. And there's another story. There are 3 different Ramayana stories in our Manvantar itself, which we are not aware of. And in other Brahmans, there will be other stories where they'll have their own set of Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita for, the manual for life, which might be disseminated in some other Brahman in some way. So yes, these are very frequent avatars that God does in all the Brahmans. What else? Okay, do we want to show them some exciting stuff that we had? I think we have some exciting announcements today and something interesting to show you. If no other question, otherwise we can continue with our discussion. But let
We
me
have
stop here.
we have the Diwali dinner with Swamiji, and we have Tulsi Vivaah. Sandhya ji has the details and dates. Sandhya
Sure.
ji, please, if
She
you
will do
can
that. But if you are in Dallas, please fill out the feedback tracker. I have some complimentary tickets for you, Diwali dinner tickets for you. So if you're in Dallas, do let me know. And I would like to invite you over for 29th evening. Would be a pleasure to host you as my guest. So
Shyamji wants to come.
Bhai, you're teasing me for last 2 years. This is not fair. 2 साल हो गए थे भाई आपको मुझे छेड़ते हुए. अब मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि मुझे क्या करना है अब.
अब मुझे भी समझ नहीं आ रहा अब कैसे आपको यहाँ लाया जाए. So let's figure that out. But yes, please fill out the feedback track. We can make it happen. If you're in around Dallas, Pramod ji, we'd love to host you. I'm blocking your name. I see Monica ji on the video. We've already spoken about it. Jyoti, if you can come, please. And you are invited. Okay, so please fill out the feedback tracker and let's get in touch if you've all not gotten the tickets. Okay, everything is complimentary. Okay, over to you, Sandhya, for the announcements.
You'll have to provide me co-host privilege for sharing the screen.
That is a lot of work, basically. Give me a sec. Okay, we are going to show you something that you will be amazed to see. Okay, you would have never seen something like that before. And you're going to love it. And hopefully it's going to inspire you to share stuff with us from time to time. Over to you, Sandhya. Let's show that and the announcements that we have to make.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Now I have to first start sharing the sound. Wait a minute.
We have a video, right? First, are we sharing video?
Oh, okay. We are doing that first. Wait a minute.
Yeah, let's show the video and then we will do the shout outs. We have some shout outs for a lot of people. So just stay on, please.
Okay. The Diwali special video.
There you go.
Just
if you haven't joined, yeah, go ahead. You can play that.
Can you hear it, right?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Wish you and your family a very Shubh Deepavali.
Shubh Deepavali.
Wish you and your family a very Shubh Deepavali.
Shubh Deepavali. Wish you and your family a very Shubh Deepavali.
This Diwali, let us give the gift of Gita to our beloved ones. आप सभी को शुभ दीपावली.
Radhe Radhe, Shubh Deepavali to all.
Shubh Deepavali to everyone. May Lord Krishna shower his blessings on all of us. Thank you, everyone.
The sunlight shows the way to live. Bhagavad Gita shows the way to live with resolute intellect. Wishing you happy, bright, sparkling Diwali.
Happy Deepavali.
Shubh Deepavali to everyone.
Happy Diwali.
Shubh Deepavali.
Happy Diwali, everyone.
Shubh Deepavali to all of you from the Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita.
Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita family wishes you and your family a very happy Diwali.
So this is our amazing daily wisdom. Some videos came in late, so we could not.
I mean, there are 2 videos which came in late. If I can show them as well, I have them also. Okay.
Let's do that. Yeah, some came in late, but I would request you to send it so that our video team can do their magic in time. But I would encourage all of you to do that. We'll do more of this, more creative stuff down the line. And thank you for sending out your video bites around this and. Such a wonderful team we have. So let's quickly do that. Let's do the shout outs and then or whatever is ready.
Okay. Can you see this?
Sure.
I think sound is already shared.
Shub Di Pa Va Li. Shub Deepavali.
Okay. And there's one more.
Was that Samji? Seemed a familiar face. By the way, tomorrow we are going to talk about the difference between seekers, illumined, and worldly people. Don't miss out on that discussion. Okay, it's going to be a very engaging discussion topic, and we have to see which spectrum we fall into and where we have to start making improvements. All right.
आप सभी को दीपावली की ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं. शुभ दीपावली.
All right. I think we covered all. Thank
Yes,
you.
whatever we received, all of them have been covered. Thank you all for sending in your videos and beautifully wishing Diwali with the Bhagavad Gita book and saying Shubh Deepavali as was discussed earlier.
And by the way, Swamiji saw that video and he loved it so much. He
Yes,
said,
yes.
I really liked it and he would like to see more of it from all the people on this session. Okay, he loved the energy, the vibe around that video and asked us to share it with the RKT and other places as well. So just wanted to let you know, congratulations to the team and great job, all of you.
All right. So coming to the appreciation part. We all can see this and
Wow, there you go.
hear the sound as well.
Yes, now we can hear you. Beautiful clapping is going on.
Okay, so
That's
this
me.
is so this is for the class participation. We had like debut bhajans in the last week. Shyamji and Abhishekji, beautiful bhajans were sung. So we cheer you for that. Shloka of the week was by Little Arjun, Monica ji's son. And comment of the week was by Srinath Mirajkar ji. So thank you, all of you. Slide. So this is to cheer all the people who in the last week had kept their videos on. And see, even Nitin ji had his video on. Next, these are the people who have been very sincerely writing and reviewing the daily summaries every day after the session. So big kudos to them and thank you. Next, community portal. So I mean, I might have even missed some names because there are so many people who have been actively engaged on the community portal and awesome engagement, great posts being created, great comments. And I would really strongly encourage all of you to go and check that out and get benefit from it. So this is the Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita Insta page. We have crossed 300 followers. We are 302 and big thanks to the entire team for this. Like a lot of people have been working in the background in creating content and making it work, basically helping in different ways. And also like, share, comment. Many of us have been doing that and that's also very important. So thank you for that as well. So I guess that is it.
So you need to send your pictures so that we can put your pictures here. That is one suggestion I like that. So if you turn on your cameras frequent enough, we can get your pictures also. Okay, and we are not going to use it anywhere outside Daily Wisdom. You can be rest assured. Okay, we can sign that contract. Please do so. That will be really nice. We can include your pictures as well. I think that will be a good way to put all the pictures here as well. Wonderful. Any other questions? I know we are over time already. We get into our devotional segment over the last 5-10 minutes. But any questions real quick? Otherwise, we'll see if anybody is interested for chanting today. And then we can taper down on our session. Tomorrow's session is going to be interesting. We're going to talk about the difference, the differences that should start coming in the way we think and carry ourselves out. The perspective shift that needs to happen or should have happened or should be happening. So it's going to be a pretty engaging conversation tomorrow.
There are no hands raised. I have some comment on this portal for our satsang group. जब हमने शुरू किया था, ये आपको याद होगा आज से 2 साल पहले, आप अकेले अकेले बोलते थे श्लोक and you listen to it, and as the time passed by you gave us the privilege to recite after you, and as people like all these newcomers joined in, Shefali, Sandhya, Urvi, and काम बढ़ता गया, मन बढ़ता गया. पहले हमारा सब 1 घंटा होता था इस सत्र के लिए and over and out, but जब से सब लोग आए हैं and हम लोग इनकी उम्र में we used to listen to songs like Disco Divane, and as last week Urvi and her friend Anubhuti sang with the guitar Krishna Bhajan. Times have changed, things have changed in our time and this time, and I'm so happy, so glad, so blissful, so blessed that people are more devoted, more inclined, more prone to these things, I would say that. And that's such a wonderful journey. I'm sure हम में से आप, मैं, सैम जी और मुझे नाम ध्यान नहीं, बट हम लोग शुरू से हैं, and we can all witness the change. It's a good change for all of us, and I'm so glad that I could join this by fluke, and I'm here by my choice now, and it feels so wonderful, so blissful that this, as you said, that मेरे को था कि हम इसको खत्म कर देंगे 3-4 महीने में. I told you earlier also कि गीता पढ़ेंगे, 18 चैप्टर है, 700 श्लोक है, 3-4 पढ़ेंगे तो शायद 4-6 महीने में खत्म हो जाएगा. बट यू वर सो श्योर कि नहीं श्याम भाई, 4-5 साल तो मैं ले लूंगा. अब मुझे लगता है कि आप 4-5 साल नहीं में कर पाएंगे. लगता है ये तो कभी खत्म होगा नहीं मेरे हिसाब से, और लोग बदलते रहेंगे. जिस प्रकार से जो श्लोक है सोल का, souls will come and souls will go, but I'm sure this platform which JK Yog, CIC and initiative by Maharaji Swamiji has started, and you've taken over the reins now. I'm sure, and I hope this goes on for all, and so that people like all of us, our generations, can benefit, and we know what our roots are, where we stand, how we have come so far, and we just be where we are, and we do not forget ourselves. And as I was also one of those who was bit adamant, bit reluctant कि किसकी पूजा करूं, कौन रूठ जाए, कौन छूट जाए. I used to worship Lord Shiva, Ma Durga, Krishna, Ram. No, for me Krishna was like a side thing कि ठीक है इनसे मिल लेता हूँ मैं मंदिर में आया हूँ तो. But जब से मैं यहाँ पर आया हूँ, Krishna is the main thing for me, and बाकी सब मुझे छूट गए हैं. I have not prayed or I have not done any bhakti for last 2-3 years. I only want Krishna and Krishna and Krishna, Radha Krishna. That's it. And बस मैं और क्या बोलूं, मैं तो बोलता रहूंगा, but that's it. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Best inspired award goes to you, Shyamji. That is what Samji is saying. Yes, it has been quite a journey. If I have to reflect back on it, I know you, Samji, started off, and I was used to seeing all blank screens. All blank screens. I said, all right, keep on saying it. Okay, now the cameras have started turning on, so many faces, it has been quite a journey. And yes, it is going to be a long project. And I don't know, I mean, this lifetime, multiple lifetime, hopefully one lifetime. But yeah, there is a movie, right? Jab tak hai jaan. So that's how I would say. But yeah, it has been quite a journey and very rewarding journey, so to say, I would say.
And it's all uphill drives, bhai. There's no stagnation, no downhill moment as of now. But what I feel, it's been moving up and up, and I hope it goes up and up and up. It doesn't have a some point out there we feel कि यार बस आज फील हो गया.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. That is the whole idea. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Shyamji, for expressing yourself so eloquently. And I think there was a reason why your name was Shyam, and now you are realizing, right, why you became Shyam.
It's Shyam Sundar, my full name.
Shyam Sundar. Okay, yes, Ratnaji, you had a question as well, or you wanted to say something?
Ratnaji,
for the devotional segment.
Okay, devotional segment. All right. Yes, do we have only one hand, or Sandhya, you want to sing as well?
No, I just wanted to add something to what take. First of all, Shyamji, you've already given us comment of the week, fixed. And second thing, I just wanted to say this, that I strongly feel it is the grace and magic by Maharajji in action which is making all of this happen. So this is really special, and it will keep growing and becoming more and more blissful as time progresses.
Right. Yeah. It has been a very I feel it like an extended family, so to say. I look forward to this session every day. In fact, when I don't have session, my productivity also goes down at work. That's what I've realized. And this is the most refreshing part of my day. Okay, trust me. Whatever content and all that stuff, and we've got such a wonderful team now. So many enthused, inspired people to work with that. You guys keep me on the toes now. It's like every day when I turn up, I said, okay, you guys will be turning on your cameras, and Shyamji is going to say there's never a dull moment, so I better not make a dull moment. Okay, it has to be exciting, something exciting every day. But thank you so much. I heartfelt gratitude, and thank you for tuning in for 60 minutes. You give me 60 minutes of your life, so I better do something good about it, right? So thank you. It's my sincere gratitude to each one of you, and from here on, it'll only get better. I can tell you that. The potential is immense as we go along. Yes, Monica ji and Ratna ji, please hold on, and then we will listen to your melodious thing. I think Monica ji, you wanted to sing or say something?
I just want to attempt singing today.
All right, so let's start with Ratna ji, and then we have Monica ji. We have two hands today. Let's get to our devotional segment then.
Ratna ji, please go ahead. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Ratna.
Thank you. Radhe Radhe, everyone. This is one bhajan. I think I heard it here only in this session. Just loved it. So wanted to sing it back. There may be background noises. Please forgive me for that.
No worries. No worries. That's perfectly okay. Please go ahead.
Atma Ramananda Ramana. Atma Ramananda Ramana. Achyuta Keshava Hari Narayana. Achyuta Keshava Hari Narayana. Bhava Bhaya Harana Vandita Charana. Bhava Bhaya Harana Vandita Charana. Raghukula Bhushana Rajiva Lochana. Raghukula Bhushana Rajiva Lochana. Adi Narayana Ananta Shayana. Adi Narayana Ananta Shayana. Sachidananda Shri Satyanarayana. Sachidananda Shri Satyanarayana. Atma Ramananda Ramana. Atma Ramananda Ramana. Achyuta Keshava Hari Narayana. Achyuta Keshava Hari Narayana. Atma Ramananda Ramana. Atma Ramananda Ramana. Ananda Ramana. Ananda Ramana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ratna ji. You're joining us from Bangalore, if I remember.
Yes.
Very nice. Beautifully sung. You've sung before as well. I think you've got a very beautiful voice. And
thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Appreciate it and loved your rendition. Thank you so much for that. Great. So we have a debut singer today. Go ahead, Monica ji.
Monica ji,
So,
Radhe Radhe.
your award is already fixed for you.
I attempted on the wrong day. Ratna ji has a beautiful voice. Please don't compare myself.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram. Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram. Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham. कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं. कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं. तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं. तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं. अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम. राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, वीर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं, वीर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्, राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्। राधे राधे.
Very nice, Monica ji. You've got a good sur, tal, and voice. You were lowering our expectations, but you did really well. It's a well-deserved debut award for you today.
Thank you. Thank you.
You should sing more often. Very nice. Loved it.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. And it's a very beautiful bhajan too. So I'm so glad you did that today. So thank you so much for that. Loved it. Wonderful. All right. Now, okay, Golabji is going to sing as well. So yes, Golabji, last but not the least, will take the last chant for the day. And please go ahead, Golabji. Are you able to unmute?
Golabji. Okay, Golabji, please go ahead.
Hey everyone, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Very beautiful and wonderful session. So much more gratitude, Hari and Guruji, and all of you, all the Jacob Ayog teams, and all the devotees of the members of Hari and Guruji. I would like to 2 lines bhajan. Please give me a chance.
Sure, Golabji. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Please go ahead.
अपना अपने रखना मेरे घनश्याम, अपना अपना रखना मेरे घनश्याम, घड़ी घड़ी पल पल नाम तिहारो, घड़ी घड़ी पल पल नाम तिहारो, रोटे मेरी रसना मेरे घनश्याम, रोटे मेरी रसना मेरे घनश्याम, लली लाल दो दे गरवाही, लली लाल दो दे गरवाही.
Beautiful bhajan by Golabji. I know we have run out of time now, so thank you so much. I think Golubji can complete this bhajan next time. It's a beautiful bhajan and it will take time. I know it's a long one. So thank you, Golubji, for that, and for all the participants for a beautiful, engaging session. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And that's all I had. And thank you again. Thank you, Shyamji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Thank you all.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you for
the
all the
session. And
co-hosts.
we all see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Same time, same place. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.